Are you regretting your decision to vote for Trump, MAGA? Well, I voted for Donald Trump because I felt like he would run our country better and more successfully than Harris. And that's really all there is to it. I don't know what you're wanting me to say. He's racist, sexist, xenophobic. Think about the people that have known him his entire life that are black and say, the guy's not a racist. There is no evidence he's a racist. And if you try to find something from 30 years ago that says he's a racist, you're overlooking a mountain of evidence right in front of your face that he's not, trying to find a needle in a haystack. You might need to figure out what that word means. If he was a sexist and believed men were better than women, do you think like 6 people on his cabinet would be women? I don't think so. He's never been against immigrants. He's against illegal immigration. I don't understand why you can't grasp that. He's a grapist. He has never been convicted of grape. In fact, he was considered innocent of those charges. He was convicted of some kind of sexual assault, which is not good. If you look at the evidence, it was really just her word against his word, and it happened many years prior to that. Why she didn't think to come forward until he was running for president is its own story. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but he definitely was not convicted of grape. He's committed 34 different felonies. Have you actually looked into these felony charges? First of all, it's not 34 different felonies. It's one thing that he did. And a simplified version of it would be this. An alleged one-night stand happened between Stormy Daniels, a porn star, and Donald Trump. 10 years after the alleged event, when she found out he was running for president, she came to one of his lawyers and said, hey, thinking about going public with this. It appears that Trump and his lawyer had her sign an NDA and gave her around $130,000, and then tried to kind of cook the books so that it didn't look like they did that. The only part of that that's a crime is the cooking of the books, and it's definitely a crime. Federal prosecutors looked at the case and realized there just wasn't enough to really go on it, and they dropped the case. Then Alvin Bragg in New York State decided he was going to make a name for himself. So he took essentially what is a bookkeeping misdemeanor, figured out some loophole in how to turn it into a felony, and then decided, every line of an invoice or every check is another felony. Oh, and by the way, it was well beyond the statute of limitations, yet they found another loophole to somehow still convict him. So it was past the statute of limitations. It should have been a misdemeanor, but they called it a felony. And they turned one thing that happened into 34 felonies. All so you could call him a felon and say he's committed 34 felonies. How could you vote for him? It was a political hit job. How can you continue to support him, especially as a Christian? I have never said he's perfect. I don't think he's perfect. I disagree with plenty of things he says and does, including recently I disagree with his Canada rhetoric. I don't like it. But I think he's doing an amazing job. I'm very happy he's the president. I'm very glad we got the Biden-Harris administration out of there.